Guys, welcome to the second side quest episode of the Massive Encyclopedia, where we talk about a couple things we couldn't get into in this week's main episode. This side quest is going to focus on the Inner Circle and some fan casts. Oh, what? Rev, why don't you get us started on the fan cast for Amarantha and Ianthe before we get into the Inner Circle?
For sure. So, my choice for Ianthe is ScarJo, Scarlett Johansson, as some of you may know her, with short hair.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I do see it. And I feel like she has that, I feel like she has the range for it.
I have been more focused on her look, and I feel like her angled chin, this hairstyle, even though in the book she may have longer hair, her face in this picture is very much like I could wear
a diadem or whatever it's called. Yeah.
And have like a little blue stone and have it be all in silver. And that blue stone matches ScarJo's blue eyes and like just her blushy cheeks. And she's just as friendly as one could get, and like have that face of a girl who is a snake in the grass, just like Ianthe. Like ScarJo would play her perfectly. Who's yours?
I love it. So I have two because I like everything in even numbers. My first one
just like
is
your
Dove.
French fries.
Everything is in even numbers. I've got two cats. First one is Dove Cameron.
Oh yes,
I feel like she's beautiful, but she's also can kind of have that a little bit of wickedness to her. And then we used Freya Allan for one of the sisters last season, but I feel like she could very well be a Ianthe.
Freya Allan from The Witcher. Actually, both of them are already wearing like light blue colored clothing. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are we going to Amarantha?
Yes.
My Amarantha, I think, is classic that everyone would pick for Amarantha, and that is Jessica Chastain. But like, darker red lipstick and like darker clothing. That is that villainous B. I won't say a word.
I can see it. So I chose either Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, Sansa Stark, or Sadie Sink. And I chose this picture in particular because she's wearing that dark lipstick and her hair is really... Yeah. If she was wearing a black dress, this would be Amarantha. She's got the dark red hair.
Oh my God, I love your picks so far. They're so good.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's move on to the Inner Circle and do like a deep dive on everybody, starting with Mor. Who is your character?
Okay. So this is going to be super controversial.
It is. I'm already cheating and looking. Very controversial.
Do you see it?
In this economy, in this world.
It's Blake Lively with this blonde hair in
but
this
here's the thing,
red
she'd be a
sequin
great
dress.
She would be a
she
great
would be
Mor.
a great Mor. But I don't care. This is the girl that come and saves me from the Spring Court. This is her. This is that powerful girl. This is the confidence.
So I have actually not seen this actress, but I wanted to kind of look at some Turkish, Greek, Egyptian actors for these because the Night Court is supposed to be more Turkish and Eastern. So this actress's name is, I hope I don't butcher it, Zita Makropoulia. She's beautiful.
Beautiful. Wow. Like, put her in a red dress. She's Mor. Wow.
She's
that girl's
stunning.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Stunning.
And this woman walks into a room and everyone turns. And she could save me from a mountain. Like, she also has that confidence. Like, she looks like she could stand up and walk into any fight.
She stares at a camera and is like, bring it.
She looks through the camera. Yeah. And then I lied. I said I had two for each. I said either Dakota or Elle Fanning. Those Fanning girls can do anything. And I feel like Elle has a little bit too much of a baby face, But at the same time, the picture I chose, like she's looking straight through that camera.
Oh, and she's wearing red.
And she's wearing red, and she's super tall. And I don't know why. I always get the idea that Moore is like 5'11", 6 foot. I always get the feeling
I always get the impression that she's so tall too.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Moore. One of the things I want to talk about is her lineage. We know that she's coming from a major, one of the top families in the Hewn City, or the Court of Nightmares. And we know that her story kind of mirrors Rhys's mother's story, where people were waiting for her to basically become a woman, start menstruating. And she did everything she could to not go through that. And then when she did, they realized how powerful she was. And instead of being scared, they saw her as, I can breed her and have a strong son. So she has a lot of similarities with Rhys's mom, but also that is what she has walked away from.
The way I see Moore is such a powerful character that no one ever knows her power. But she sees Feyre and she's like, I wanted to dress up for you. And that is like a throwback to our last episode. Mm-hmm. But she needs a bestie in the same way that Feyre needs a bestie. And she's like, you are powerful. You are going to be targeted. I know what this feels like. And no one else that I know feels like this. Like, Cass as Rhys, they're all males. They cannot even fathom what it's like to be a female. But Feyre is a person who is like, I feel vulnerable and I'm really powerful at the same time. And I think that's where Moore is coming from. She sees Feyre as this person. I see something of myself in you, and I just want you to know you are not alone. And you think you're alone right now, but like, I've done this before, but I've never had a person I could share this with. I can't share this with any of these guys. I can't share it with Amren. I've had no one to share it with. And you have a vulnerability that I had, and I can share this with you.
I think for Moore, 178 is the big page for her. That's when she says to Feyre, one, you left the Spring Court. I think it's so important that she is the one, because she was there when Feyre left / was saved. But it's not, you were taken from the Spring Court. It's not, you were freed from the Spring Court. It is, you left. And it is so important that someone says that to her, and Moore is the one who does it. But then also she says, like you've been saying, I once lived in a place where the opinion of others mattered. It suffocated me, nearly broke me. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like the beginning of this book? So you'll understand me when I say I know what you feel, and I know what they tried to do to you, and that with enough courage, you can say hell with a reputation. You do what you love, what you need. She's almost this quasi best friend, mother. She is this support person that is on Feyre's side for Feyre, rather than even Rhys being like, she's my mate. She's got this bond. I can use her powers. What Moore sees is another woman that was in a bad place, and she was able to help. And she is a strong, and she will die for Feyre. She will do whatever it takes for her.
What comes before is on page 164, and it just like backs up what you're saying. Moore's rank is higher than that of the two warriors at this table. Then there had to be some other reason beyond that irreverent charm. It's not just her charm, it's her power. And I think that's what people underestimate, because we have no idea what she's going to bring to the table. And I think that same thing is the expectation of the other courts of Feyre. Like, no one knows what Feyre is going to bring. And so they have this commonality that makes them both so much more powerful than anyone knows, but also feeling like vulnerable even Amryn cannot make the same comparisons to herself and what like Mor and Feyre feel like. And like, I think Feyre's the closest thing to Mor that Mor has ever found.
I think you're right. Mor, for a while, we assume, was underestimated, right? She was looked down on because of her sex. They weren't looking at her power. They weren't looking at her intelligence. They weren't looking at anything. What the people under the mountain saw and still see is a woman. Whereas Feyre is very similar. What Tamlin sees is a woman that needs protecting, who needs to be Rapunzeled and thrown into the tower. These are the two most feared people that come through this book. And we've said it at least once an episode. I can't wait for more of her powers. I want to see the next
more
book
of Mor's powers.
Yes, I want to see more of what Mor can do, because we get a little bit of it, kind of breadcrumbs, and we see a little bit of it in this book when I think it's this book, when she eventually sees the Six Queens and they show Valaris. But I want to see her unleash her powers.
Mor unleashing her powers is going to be last book. I don't think we're gonna see Amryn's powers. Until last book.
Wait, don't we see more Amryn's powers?
We see her like go
she
to
goes,
space and kind of die, and then like come back.
Yeah,
and, like she destroys a bunch of
we
people.
We see something of her powers in this series,
and she like chooses to come back as Amryn. When I kind of feel like the spell is broken. I don't really remember.
We'll get there. It's book 5 or book 3. We'll get there. Okay. Anything else on Mor that we wanted to talk about?
Other than her commanding a red dress, she just walks in and she owns everything. She owns.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay. Who are we moving on to next?
So, who was your Cassian?
Cassian, with the long hair and like the jovial personality and the kind of flirty, not caring aspect of Cassian, has always been a young Jason Momoa.
Here for it. He was one of mine.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Jason Momoa is one of mine for sure.
This is the only one where I have two. A person no one knows. We know her affectionately as Cozy. Cozy suggested, do you remember this when we were out to dinner?
I do remember this.
When she said Travis Kelce, and I was like, yeah, you know what?
He's big, he could fight. And he's fun. He wants to go for a drink at Rita's.
The biggest, most BA guy, where he's like, bring it. I'll take it all. And he would throw his jacket down for a girl to not step in a puddle. Are Cassian. Both of those guys are Cassian.
So my second one is a Turkish actor. Well, I've seen him all over Instagram, so this is not me. But his name's Ken Yaman. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's very attractive.
Sir.
And he could lead an army.
No, sir, don't do that.
And he could also tell you to hold on to a headboard. This man. That hair, the arms, he's got the tattoo. Oh my God.
I'm fine. I'm doing fine right now.
We'll sleep great. Like he's great. So let's talk Cassian.
Wow.
So I'll start then while you get yourself together.
Yeah.
So we know he has the red siphons. We know that the siphons can turn all of their magic or their power into a weapon. And he's a trainer. He's the general of all of Rhys's armies. He's also a bastard and the first one that Rhys's mom encouraged to come in with them. taught him how to read. So, like, he's educated. And also, we learn later what he does for Mor is really a controversial act, but it saves her, right? Like, it changes her life.
But no one gets to judge her. On top of all that, she picks the guy that is the deadliest Illyrian warrior that anyone has ever seen, including Rhys, that he thinks, like, me and Cassian, yeah, Cassian would probably win. I mean, I'd give him a fight, but I think Cassian would win. Cassian brings a presence that is friendly, jovial.
He's honest. He's not ashamed of where he's coming from. And, like, on 166, when Feyre mistakenly calls him Lord Cassian, because at the Spring Court, he would be. Gets. Yeah, like at the Spring Court, he would be Lord Cassian, but here he's just Cassian, and he's just a guy, right? Like, but he's so honest to who he is, and he's there for a good time, but he's also there to do his job, to be Rhys's second. Not second, but like to be Rhys's protector. Fourth. But like, no, I think we find out later, and we'll have to pay attention because I can't remember if it's Azriel or Cassian. I feel like it's actually Azriel is the one who will taste the food, and he wasn't there under the mountain. That's why Rhys drank the wine that was spelled. So these guys will die for their brother, much like he would die for them, but he knows he has to stay alive. But Cassian, he's just a great guy. And I can't wait to talk about him more when we talk about Silver Flame, because we see so much more characterization from him. It's so good.
He would ride or die for anyone in this group. And I mean, he would ride or die for Amren, all the way up to he's willing to ride or die for Feyre. And Feyre is brand new to the inner circle, to the family, but he would.
Let's also talk about, I mean, this is jumping ahead, but when he meets Elain and Nesta, these two humans, first of all, he's angry at how they treated Feyre. But also, he treats them with so much respect. When we go to the Illyrian mountains later on at the camps, we see the sexism of the Illyrians and how they treat the females, and also how they act towards Feyre and Nesta. Cassian does not
and eventually how they act towards the Valkyries.
Right. But Cassian and Azriel don't share that, but we actively see Cassian flipping that sexism on its head. I gotta tell you, he's just a great guy.
He's just a really good guy. Aside from everything
he's else. Also just, I mean, sure, who hasn't killed thousands of people for their High Lord? I think my last thing on Cassian is he makes a point of saying, I don't have any magic. Because Feyre says he does shadows.
He doesn't need any.
He doesn't need it. But like she needs to hear that there's someone who's just a normal person in this friend group, right? Like, he doesn't have magic.
And she does have magic, but she needs to hear from someone who's like, hey, I know what it feels like to be hungry, and I know what it feels like to always feel you're not enough, that there's always more to learn, that you could always be better. I'm here as a resource, as like a social worker. What can I do to help you be better? He's also here as a resource to be like, what's up, girl? You want to train? All right, let's go. I'll fight with you, and I'll teach you how to fight better. We're ER nurses, right? Like, we see these girls all day, every day. There's reasons why girls read these books. He's perfect.
He's also the guy that literally at the first time he meets her, he says, "Have you trained? Do you want to?" Already he's willing to take her under his wing. He then says, I don't know how to train you. I've never trained a human, and I know you're not human, but I don't know how to do this, but we'll figure it out together. He is so accepting of her because he is already...
She can't even fly, and he's like, okay, well, we'll navigate this. Like, you
right, well, she doesn't have wings yet. But he's already accepted her because Rhys accepts her and Mor accepts her. She's already part of the crew.
He's kind of like that bro guy that you're like, why are you standing in front of the mirror? But also, if you were like, I want to be a bro guy standing in front of the mirror, he would be like, hey, you know what? I'll be your bro. Come here. This is where we're going to start. And he would like help you get to the point where you could Instagram bro.
Okay, let's move on to Azriel, who has guest starred on our podcast because he was just pushing up against the microphone. My cat, Azriel.
I think that we have Matthew Daddario.
Mm-hmm. He's an attractive man. I think
you have the exact same picture.
I have a different picture, but it is the same actor.
So good.
I added two more.
I promise I will be calmer because I will be cool.
So my other one is a Spanish actor named Alvaro Rico. Although looking at him, he could also be a Rhysand or a Dorian.
Matthew Daddario.
100%.
Okay, let's just start. Azriel, his gauntlets across his body, his siphons are blue. Azriel's blue siphons, along with Cassian's red siphons, she's like supposed to, she is in Feyre, trust these guys with her life, and yet literally each of them have these colors that she can't cope with. But
I don't think she ever mentions
them, and it takes a while. But she ends up trusting them with her life.
But I don't think she ever thinks about the colors of their siphons. I don't think that's ever really addressed in the book.
I don't think that there's somewhere in her mind that if the very two specific colors that she can't be effed with are the exact same two colors of the siphons. Like, it is meaningful.
But also, when we are talking, one of the names for Cassian is the Lord of Bloodshed. Blood is red. All the time she thinks about Azriel, it's this icy coldness. What is icy coldness? Blue. These colors just seem to either reflect or are reflected upon their personalities and their responsibilities. Like on page 158, he is called the Knife in the Dark. He is a cool-blooded killer. And he's the spy master. He has to stay cool under pressure. He can't be Cassian and just going off. He has to stay in the shadows. He has to keep his emotions locked in. He can't let what he's feeling come out.
Well, I think also the fact that he has shadow powers helps him be more cold and cool than like Cassian could ever be. Because, I mean, we know Azriel, straight face. Cassian, grinning and giggling at whatever joke he just made. But Azriel has these shadow powers that allow him a little bit of freedom to escape from what people might see.
I think he's also lived a very hard life. So has Rhys, so has Cassian. But Azriel was locked up for 23 hours a day in his childhood. His hands were burned because he was lit afire by his brothers. His mother was killed. He has not had a easy life. None of them have. But Cassian gives the impression of someone who enjoyed fighting. He he knew he was going to win. It was not a challenge. And I think Azriel, what I want to pay attention to is those shadows, because Feyre at times thinks that the shadows are listening and talking to him, and I want to pay attention. Yeah, pay attention to how those shadows react, because if I recall, in Silver Flames, when he meets Gwen, the shadows are not scared of her light magic, and they actually come out and dance when she sings. Like, these are big character things, because it's almost like his character is being shown by his shadow.
There are 2 different times that I think his shadows or something else are able to read minds or like pick up on what other people are doing. One of them, she is like paying attention to his siphons, and it's said that he's noticing her pay attention to his siphons, and he looks up and he's like, these are siphons, and he like kind of explains them. But there's another time where it looks like he's actually reading her mind. Page 160, it was almost enough to distract me from noticing Azriel as those shadows lightened. Blah, 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 blah. A wisp of shadow curled around Azriel's ear, and his eyes snapped to mine. Like, he immediately looks over. It's like his shadows are looking at her eyes and her actions, or his shadows are reading her mind for him, or he's reading her mind twice on 160, and then the other one was 165. I think Azriel is reading people's mind. Like, this is why he is the spy master. It's not just his shadows. He has so many more powers than we know that he has.
Sure, I agree. I'm excited for when we eventually get his book to get to see what this is, to see what his powers are. Okay, let's move on to Amren. You go for your Amren.
Right there, Aquafina. That's Amren.
I said Aquafina as well.
You did?
Yeah, I have 2. The other one
God.
is Edna Mode from The Invincibles or The Incredibles. But if I can't choose an animated character, it's Aquafina, 100%.
Well, because she just has that like haircut. There's also the actress. There's the actress that looks like the girl from The Incredibles, and I think she played in CSI LA.
Yeah, you're right. She did. Yes, she would have been a great Amren. But yes, I agree. Aquafina.
Coming in and just tossing in that amulet and being like, here, you're going to be fine. Get over it. Like, that is the face that says that to Feyre.
I think my thing with Amren is there is so much we don't know. She has very hard lines. I will not go back to the prison. She is so powerful, but she is not going back to the prison. And later on, when she gets the big ruby from Tarquin, she uses it as a paperweight. Rhys buys her jewels. She's in another episode, we talk about how Rhys describes her almost like a dragon with her loot. She loves
fire
gems.
drake.
Yeah.
What I want to know is there are so many folklore tales of people needing gems to like pass through time, to pass through worlds. Like, is she amounting all of these gems so that she can get back to the being that she was? And I know where we end up at the end of episode 5, but is that her goal now?
Right. Or is she looking for the jewel that will act as the key? That's a really great point. One thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about Azriel is on 168, we find out that he's the son of a lord. He's the bastard son of a lord. So that does give him some hierarchy in the society. I don't know where it lies, but anyways, back to
I
Amren.
mean, in the Illyrians, it matters not.
Right.
In all of the hierarchy of Prithian, it should matter some. And,
Oh, I don't think so. Because he's an Illyrian. The High Fae don't care about them.
I mean, but they care about Rhys, and he's half Illyrian.
But he's a High Lord.
Some amount of respect is showed to Azriel, maybe because he's a High Lord, maybe because of his abilities, but like Azriel gets more respect than like Cassian ever would.
I think part of that is because of his Shadow Singer.
I don't think it's because he's the son of a High Lord. I just wanted to note it. But
anyways, there's just so much about Amren that we don't know.
What is her obsession with the trinkets and the jewels? That's gotta mean something. It can't just be like this cute, quirky character arc. Like, oh, she just likes jewels. Like, there is something there. And I think we're
there
gonna
has
find
to be.
out of why.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say on the Inner Circle?
No, I think I'm good. I'm happy
Okay.
we did the side quest though, because I really, really wanted to dig into let's talk about our characters. So
Yeah, me too.
thanks for doing this with me.
Always. So next week we're going to be talking about chapters 22 through 28 of Akamath, and can't wait to see you guys there and hear what you guys think. Bye.
Bye.